So in this class, we are going to elaborate Hive create tables. Okay. So from here, it will be practical session. So you guys try to explore or try to enhance the things. So this is Hive create table, Hive create table, syntax with an examples. Okay. So as part of this class, so I will be going to cover up create tables. Uh, just a second, there is an issue. So yeah, guys. So as part of this class, I'll be covering so create table syntax and usage, create table syntax and usage. So I'll be explaining, with some example. Okay. So create table examples like internal and manage tables and then external tables, internal or manage tables. We can call it as internal table or a manage table and external table. So temporary table. How to create a temporary table? So create table from select. Okay. Now creating table like another table. So these topics will be covered as part of this video. So so this, as I discussed in yesterday's class, so we have covered how to create the database and how to drop the database. So now I'm going to cover up how to create a table syntax with an example. So as part of this course, we'll be covering these things. So create table syntax usage, create examples. So manage tables and external tables and temporary tables and create table from the select and creating table like another tables. So Hive create table, this is in a statement. So so let's like as you guys most of the people aware, as you guys most of the people aware that so most of the people you guys, so can you people raise the hands how many people have worked on or having an idea how to create a table in our DBMS database, which is an SQL server or something like Postgres. So the same way we have to create the table over here. So if you see the create table statement, so Hive create table, create table. Okay, just a minute, guys. Let me reload it. So by using the create table statement, you can create an Hive. So it is similar to a SQL. Okay, it is similar to the SQL. Now this is our database which I created. Now here I'm going to create a table. So let's create a table. Okay. But before creating the table, you should aware or you should know the few things. Like this is a syntax. I'll show here. Okay. So listen this, guys. Create table. It could be an external table. So if not exist, okay, table name, like column names you can give column and data type. This is a column one. The related database we have to give data type. Like you can define n number of columns. Here we have to, I mean, we have a concept called partition that will like cover up in the next classes. Like we can give column constraints. Okay. Like we can add now partition by some column we have to give that I'll explain, no worries. So clustered by and comment we can give, and row format we can give, and fields delimited we can give. Sorry, fields terminated we can give, fields terminated by char. Okay, so lines terminated by some character. Okay, now location we have to mention here, we have to give HDFS path. As I told you, the Hive tables will be stored in the HDFS path and stored as the format. Okay, if somebody asks you to write a Hive syntax or a Hive table, how to create the table, you have to give all these things. So partition by, clustered by, comment. Like if you want, this is table comment. This is not a mandatory, but if you want, you can give this. Then again, row format. This is row format. Now fields terminated by character and lines terminated by character and location HDFS and stored as file format. Now in Hive, a table can be created with or without the database. If you wanted to create a specific database, so database name should be qualifier. See, if I want to create this in the specific database, I'm going to create a table here. But if you don't want to keep this database before creating the table, it will create in a default database. So by default, the Hive tables are created in the data warehouse directory. So the location which is specified for this key, that is called a hive.metastore.warehouse.directory on the configuration file. So those configuration files, no need to worry about those configuration files. So create table option classes. I'll explain. Let's come here. So this is if not exist. What does it mean? So you can use if not exist. Let me write down here so that it will be clear for you guys. So this is you can use if not exist to avoid in case of table is already present. Hive checks if the requesting table path is already, if suppose if you're not keeping this table, if create a table if not exist, it will create the table even with this comment also. But if you're keeping this, then there won't be any syntactic error. It will skip it. So you can avoid that errors. So again, next, what is an external? Create external. Okay, let me write down here. External. Okay, so external means so use it to create an external table. So that I'll tell you why you're using this external. So again, the temporary. What is a temporary? Use it to create a temporary table. You can keep the temporary table here also. Like these are all examples. Then again, row format. Row format. What is a row format? Row format is specify the format of the row, which format you have to give, and fields terminated by. So by default, Hive uses is field separator. Okay, pipe separator. So to load a file that has a custom field separator like comma, pipe, tab, use this option. Okay. Now what is this clustered by? Clustered by dividing the data into specific number of buckets. This is the one. So location, this is the location where you want to create the file. This is a custom location where to store the data in HDFS. So there are, I mean, beside this, Hive supports many optional classes. Now let's create a Hive table. Okay. Now I'm going to create a Hive table directly. See here. So create table. See, it will come. If not exists, see. So I'm already inside this database 45397906. I'm not going to specify any database name. Okay, so I'm giving employee. Then you have to open the bracket. Then again you have to close this bracket. So inside this first bracket, what you have to give? You have to give the column names. ID I'm giving ID as a int. Name I'm giving name as string. And age is int, comma. Then gender. Try to understand, guys. Okay, simple. This is simple thing. So till here, you guys hope you understand, right? So now, so create table, if not exist, employee table I'm creating here. So ID column I mentioned, name column, age column, gender. So ID is in what is ID? ID is an integer, which is a numerical value. That's why I've given entire integer will be fine. So name is a string. So age is also integer. So gender is also string. Now I want to keep a comment on this table. So comment, see it is coming. Because if something employee, why I'm keeping the comment, this will display this will tell us the table which relates to, is this related to employee data or students data, like that. So row format delimited and fields terminated by comma. Okay. So note this. So basically, one second, let me drag this so that it will be visible for you guys. So by default, Hive uses this one, pipe character. Where is the pipe character here? This one. Okay, it's not a pipe actually. This is called, I'm not sure. This is a field separated. So unloading the file. This is okay, it's pip something. So ignore that one. So a field separator file, but I have a comma separated file to load the data. Hence, I have used row format deleted by comma. That's why I'm using fields deleted by comma. So delimited is row format is delimited because I have a delimited as comma, but by default Hive it's sure. Okay, it's okay. So that doesn't matter. I'll explain you. Now I'm going to create a table. Let's see where it will create. See, success. It created the table. If you want, you can see the automatically table got created. If you click on this, see ID, int name, age, gender. Okay. Now for safer side, as we are in the practice session, so keep this DDL here. Now I want to see describe the table. What is the table name? Employee. Okay, employee. Just type this. You can click this. So it will describe the table. See here. So column name, data type, what data type you have assigned. For age, you have assigned int. For ID, you have assigned integer, gender string, and name string. Okay. Now, so load, I want to load a file. Okay. So now let's see how to load. Let's see, we have a table. Now we have to load one file. Where it is actually. So since, one second. Let's do one thing. So instead of loading the file into this path, we will do a insert. Why? Because so Hive load we can use. There is a command called local data path, so that we can. Mm, but the problem here is this Hive I'm using. This yeah, this one. We don't have Hadoop setup over here for now. So what I'll do, I'll insert some data. Okay, I'll insert some data. Uh, okay, let's insert the data. Okay, because the Hadoop setup I don't have. I have only Hive Hive available. So anyways, we have to insert the data into the table. Let's see. Okay, how to insert. So now I'll show you how to. So if you want to see, you can also you can see the table type. Show create table employee. Okay, now execute. If you look at this is an external table. Okay, this is I have created. If you see output and file, everything, everything we have it. Bucket version, external true. So these are things you can see it. So simple command you have to write. Insert into. So what table are going to employee table? Okay, employee table. So how to execute the data? Sorry, how to insert the data. Insert into employees. Values we have to give. What kind of values you have to give? So it has first ID, one, and name, James, and uh, and what is age? 30 we can give. Gender is male. Okay. Now here we have to give ID, comma, name, comma, age, comma, gender, GN. Got it. What is this? Invalid table alias column name, James. Okay. Now, as this is, we have given a string, right? So we have to keep it in the single characters, even for gender also, because as per the data type, we have to give the values. Now try to execute it. See, it got success. The same way, I'll give for some other values. See, this is two ways that we can create. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now you can give like and Jeff. If you want, you can give any names that Jennifer. Okay. This is 40. This is 41. And this is 20. Okay. You can give it as female. Female. Okay. Don't give any other names, guys. Now let's execute one by one. We can execute multiple insert statement, but not from here. Okay. So now see, keep these comments. I'm keeping these comments because I need it for the next classes. Now just refresh this. Now write this. Select start from employee. Okay. See the table, how it got created. See 1, 2, 3, 4 employees and gender and all. Got it? It's a very easy step, guys. Okay. Hope you guys cleared. Now we came into the topic which is very important and internal interview question. Now, why we are creating, as I told you, why we are creating two tables. Here I told you internal table or a managed table or external table. This part is done. Now I am coming to this part, internal and managed tables. So when you create a table in Hive, listen carefully, guys. When by default, Hive creates, I created a table. Since I mentioned here as, if you see my command here, where is my command here? So by default, Hive creates an internal table. Okay, by internal table, also known as the managed table. So in the managed table, Hive owns the data or files on top on the table, meaning when you are inserting or loading the files, you can see I have inserted manually, but you can load this data from the file as well. Since I don't have that facility, so I inserted it manually. So that is, we can create an internal table also known as a managed table. So in the managed tables, Hive owns data files under the meaning. So that means whenever you insert the data, so Hive process when you drop the table, underlying data files also got deleted. You created the table, but suppose if you want to, if suppose you drop the table, okay, you drop the table. Suppose let's say if you drop, it will drop. So when you drop the table, what will happen? Underlying data files also got to be deleted. Okay, got it? You got it or not? Nice. Drop table I will tell you, but what will happen in that case? The data, all the data will be lost. So that is why we are bringing a concept called external table, which is this one. So when you're creating an external table, you can create an external table. Hive doesn't manage the external table, doesn't manage. So when you drop an external table, only the table metadata from the meta store will be deleted. As I told you in the first class, there is a data meta store and actual data store. So when you drop an external table, it only drops the meta store. So the underlying files will not be removed, and still they can be accessed via HDFS commands. So Pig, Spark, or any other Hadoop compatible tools that you can access the data, only the metadata will be dropped. You can create the metadata simply. So that is what. So before you are creating a table, what you have to mention, you have to mention like this: create an external table or create an internal table like this. You have to mention. Then the table, the creation of table will be done by writing your own commands. So again, there is a concept. This is done. Hope you guys understand this one: internal table and external table. If you're not understanding, please comment on this temporary table. PO. So temporary table, what is temporary table called? So temporary table, temporary option. So this table exists only within the current session. So for example, you have to load a table which is not required for the next level. So what you can do, simply you can keep this here. The same, the commands will be same, but you can keep the data here. Create table, temporary before you temp table. Temporary, create temporary table. If not exists is not required because this is a temporary table. Employee one, you can call it as. Okay, so what will happen? So this table you want to use somewhere else in your job. Then you can simply use this table and it will be dropped. Okay, so in the next session, so upon the existing session, temporary tables will be removed and cannot be accessed in another session. That's it. Got it? Yes. Now what is transactional table? So transactional table, it supports Hive 4.0 supports transactional table. So this is a little advanced. So that is also I'm covering up transactional tables. Okay. So transactional tables, what it do, it support ACID operations. What are ACID operations? What are ACID operations? That I'll tell you. No worries. Okay. That I'll tell you. Nothing to worry. So it transactional tables, it supports ACID operations. So ACID operations means we can say it. I means insert, update, delete. Those kind of operations will be done by transactional tables. So create a transactional table the same way. Same, take this, Control C. Simple transactional table. It's table name. You can give employee to. Same thing. So it is for transaction table support for ACID operations. Like if you want to insert, if you want to update, if you want to delete buffer. So this is done. Now I want to create a table from the existing table. Okay, so I have already created a table. Okay, again I want a same replica of table. So how to create? That is simple. See here, create table. I want to create filter. Okay, let's filter as select. You can give a fields or you can give I want only ID comma name. Okay, I don't want the same as is from employee. See, just type this. It got success. Now you can see select star form. It is automatically refreshing. See, create a table. Now execute this. See, it created a table. One for James, two for Anne, three for Jennifer. Got it. So this has some restrictions. So some restrictions while creating this one, a target table cannot be an external table. Okay, always remember this one. So, and the target table cannot be a list bucketing table. So it has some restrictions. It has create table as selected. But now we can ignore that one. Like the same way you can do like create table. Like this also you can do create table filter to like also you can use like see what is this? Sorry, these things are not required. So that it will create table as is. From is also not required. Simply see filter to. If we select this filter to, so one more table will be added over here. See filter to what is this? Yeah. So this is like it will only create like means it will not dump the data. It will create only the similar structure of the data. Like. So hope this is help. So thank you. Happy learning, guys. Yeah, we'll see you in the next class.